Greetings, stars. It is your girl Jaha Knight, and today we are starting on our first skin tutorial. So now you all know that there has been a mission that I have been on to make sure that we get beautiful chef's kiss skin, and I am taking you on that journey with me. So one of the things that you all now have in the Discord channel is the ability to download a document. It's 4 pages, and I was doing the color comparisons. So now you actually have the ability to go into our Discord channel and look at the skin matching documents. There are 4 pages. You can look on the right side of the bottom. You will see page 1, 2, 3, and 4, and you can actually match the colors that you're looking for in any of these skin tutorials to the colors that I'm using. So that is the first thing. I want to make sure that you're using your resources, right? So that's the very first thing. The second thing is the skin tutorials video is going to drop. We're going to drop that every week so that you have all of the tutorials as we go through them. I will have a variety of colors that we're going to be using to make sure that we are all good in the hood. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, we're going to cover light skin, medium skin, dark skin in these tutorials to give you a baseline of skin that you would like to create. Now, why am I doing that? I'm doing that because primarily most of the products that I create are black girl products. So we got to make sure our skin looks moisturized, looks healthy, looks good. So what I'm doing here right now is I'm using 2 different brands. And if you've been on any of the lives with me, you already know that the 2 brands that I'm using are going to be listed on this pseudo color plan, right? So what's in the skin tutorials lineup is going to be the skin tutorial itself, and then on the right side you will see the brands, actually not the brands, the names of the colors that I'm using, and I'm going to color that out so you can see. Now right underneath the color you will see the color pencil color that I'm using, because sometimes you gotta use a little bit of color pencil to even that thing out, you know what I'm saying, sometimes. But our ultimate goal is to use marker specifically to make sure our skin looks good. Now color pencil gives that a little extra, but it ain't necessary. It's just the extra. So at the top of the page you'll see that I'm using SFIAH. If you ever see, me put SF next to the name of the product, you see that's the brand that I'm using, right? Okay, so we're using SFIAH and we're using Ohuhu. Now, the first thing I like to do when I'm coloring skin is to put down the darkest shadow. That's the very first thing I like to do. The second thing I like to do is put down the mid-tone shadow. Now, this is against most people's beliefs and their philosophies, but I do it because it makes sense for me. So I put down the darkest shadow, then I put down the mid-tone shadow. The mid-tone shadow is going to come a little bit outside of the darkest shadow. And then I'm going to go in with the lightest color. So I go from darkest to mid color to lightest color. That's how I look at the things that I do. And then when you see, like on the right side of the page, you'll see a little circle with the light bulb. That is my light source. So my light source is coming in from the top right. So I'm basically saying if I were to angle a light on this person's face, then this light would throw these parts of the face into shadow. Now, a lot of artists will tell you that, oh, look at a reference photo when you are coloring. I do look at reference photos because it is very helpful. However, they don't ever tell you that sometimes it's more helpful for you to look at a reference photo that is already shaded. And what I mean by that is lots of people will use a person for reference photos. Sometimes you can actually use cartoons or colored things that you've seen somewhere else for reference photos. It does make it a little easier on you as the artist when you're not having to figure out all of the shadows and shading on a piece. And sometimes you're not typically able to see that when you're looking at an image of a person, an actual person. It's a little more challenging. Now, you can take that image, turn into black and white, and see the shadows a little more clearly, where you'll see where there's a very light part of the face, and then a mid-tone part of the face, and then a super dark part of the face. Turning something into black and white will also give you that option to see shadows a little bit easier. So those are some of the options I would say to think about when you are doing skin. When you're doing a face, you want it to have that look of something that is pretty realistic as to what you would see out in the real world. So those are some options for you to think about when you are creating your work. Now, I absolutely love this skin because I did do the base colors first with the shadows, and then they kind of melted together. Now, what I end up doing is once I blend out those colors, I do the shadow, the mid-tone, then I put the lightest color on top, and then I go back with the darkest color in the mid-tone again, and I go over those, because what ends up happening is it makes the skin look a little peasy. I don't know if y'all know what the word peasy means, but nappy is probably a better word. It makes the skin look a little bit nappy when you blend it out that way. So I will go back over it, because the original reason for me doing it in the first place was so I knew where my shadows lied prior to coloring with the regular color. So that's what I ended up doing. And then I will take my color pencil and kind of blend out some of the harsher lines of that mid-tone color so that it looks like it's a little bit more blended. So those are the things that I do. Now, one big no-no, and I don't know if you know, but one big no-no is to make sure that you are putting your marker down as your base before you try to use color pencil on top of it. Okay? Now, I know y'all have seen me do some things on live. That might be one of them. Don't tell nobody. But I'm just saying that could be that. Listen to your girl now. Don't do it. It will make that skin look real weird. Okay? So I would say that going in and making sure that you are able to play around with the skin, but not make some of the errors and mistakes that some of us that have come before you have made, and even you probably have made yourself. You see how I did that? That was a special effect, only with my own lips. So anyway, so my point is that it is a little bit challenging when you are going to try to color on top of skin with color pencil, and then you try to go back in to that skin with marker. Don't do it. Just don't do it. It's not what you want. You don't want them problems. Now, one of the things I absolutely love is coloring my the eye area and the lips with color pencil. It's my personal preference. You can do what you like, but I personally enjoy it. Now, on occasion, I will throw a little glitter on the eyeballs, little glitter on the eye area, because I don't draw eyes. I will do that, or I will throw a little bit of mark on the lip. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes your girl gets a little wonky with it. She'll go and do that, but it's not really often. I prefer the blendability of color pencil for lips and the blendability of color pencil for the eye area. Now, I like Prismacolor. I have a few different color pencils that I use. So I do have Prismacolor. I absolutely love it. I do have Caran d'Ache, and I absolutely love those. The Prismacolor. Well, in any case, there's a whole list of the products that I have, whether it's marker, color pencil, crayon, glitters, all of those things, with links to all of those products. It is on my website. Now, in the Starlight Creatives Club, you have access to that. If you are not in the Starlight Creatives Club, if you sign up to my mailing list, you will have access to that and you'll be able to get all of that information, my star ratings for all of those products, and also links directly to those products. So if you are following along with this tutorial, you can do that with that access to that information in those products. Now, if you're in the Starlight Creatives Club, you have this tutorial firsthand. I give you tutorials there first before I ever put them out to the public, and then I also make sure that you have like this actual template that comes along with being a part of the Starlight Creatives Club. So why am I calling you all stars? My hashtag for our clients, the people that support us and love us, are the stars in the Dakari moon sky, because hey, Dakari moon, you are more than the moon, you are stars. So gotta make sure my people feel the love. So you are a part of the Starlight Creatives Coloring Club if you are listening to this first. And if you're not and you want to become a part of the Starlight Creatives Coloring Club, make sure you click the link in the bio. It will give you the access you need to become a part of the club today and join the Discord, get access to private tutorial videos, and private lives and all those good things, and getting access to stuff like this, like my templates and things like that. You'll get those first. And matter of fact, the template, I won't be handing that out to anyone else. So you'll be getting that if you're in the Starlight Creatives Club, because it's a part of our exclusive membership. Okay, I want to make sure my people are taken care of. Y'all are my folk. All right, so that's where we are with this. I'm not going to continue talking. You'll get more of these tutorials inside of the Starlight Creatives Coloring Club. You'll see more of these on your timeline as I go along. It'll be a more sped up version of what the Coloring Club is going to get, because they're getting more detail and all that good stuff. So it's you got to be a part, you got to be in the in crowd. You know what I'm saying? You got to be a star. All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much for listening. Thank you for taking the time to view this tutorial and to make sure that you're going to take the time to create beautiful brown skin, like India Ari sang about. Ugh, gotta love that, India Ari. You're creating beautiful brown skin with the products that you have to make sure that your girls look as gorgeous as this one is looking. Okay, chef's kiss. And I will speak with you all later.